Thank you for watching. The weather is starting to turn around because autumn is really setting in over here in Norway, which means that I'm back to being confined to inside projects rather than being outside running my cars. So one of the first things that I really want to get done and need to get done as well, because it's been sitting on the shelf way too long, is completing my PRO-Line Pro-2 Buggy Conversion. This thing started life out as a short course truck. I wanted to give it a bit more of a realistic and a bit of a different look. PROLINE has released a buggy conversion for this car. I've done a video about that one. They also released a complete short course buggy version that you can purchase. Might be worth checking that one out as well, because I don't want to be putting everything back together if I do want to convert it to a short course truck. Anyway, pretty cool conversion kit. A lot of work to put it together, that as well. I mocked it up currently. I'm going to keep it this way until I have determined what kind of lines I want to use. The body shell consists of a few different pieces which need to be sort of like slotted together. You have these two rear panels. You have an interior piece, and then you have the larger outside shell with these, well, call them nerve bars. I need to come up with a line that really suits this vehicle. I don't want to overcomplicate it. I think I'm going to stick to two, perhaps three colors. After determining what kind of lines would, I think, work on this body, I took them off the car. You can tell over here I just put a few lines on there, really rough sketch, as I also do not want to overcomplicate this paint scheme. You can tell that there's this interior which will be pretty difficult to mask up. There's a few tiny details in there that I'm going to try and fill in with a Tamiya PS paint pen. Didn't know that those existed, but I've used them in the past. They're a bit tricky to work with, but I will try and give it a go over here. Also, the interior is quite tucked away behind the roll cage and the main section of the body, so in case I do mess up a tiny bit, it's not a big deal. Let's see, I got these two panels that mount to the back of the cage. There's a molded in mesh going on in those. What I will try to do is, rather than using a drywall tape, which I usually do, I'm going to try and paint this up in a silver, because the mesh is molded in a tiny bit deeper than the rest. And then what I want to cover in black to make it appear like it's an air vent, I'm going to try and sand that down so I get back to the clear Lexan. Afterwards cover it with a coat of black. The main color of this body is going to be, I don't have the can right here, so I can't tell you the number. That will come up, but it's a metallic orange. It's a new color that Tamiya has in their color range. I'm quite curious to use it. Also, I'm going to see if it's better to back it with perhaps a silver or with a black. So that's also something that we will find out during this paint scheme. Anyway, enough talking. I'm going to wash this out, scuff it up a tiny bit with a Scotch-Brite sponge, one of those kitchen sponges, this one as well. Afterwards I'm also going to determine what I want to flat clear. Adding a coat of flat clear to certain sections of the body can make it look that much better. But first of all, I'm going to focus on the inside, getting all of this cleaned out, masked up, and then I will be back once I start cutting. Using the pens, I've put in some of the detail work, like the seat belts, the buckles, the collar of the driver. So the head will sit on top like that. I'm not going to be too concerned with the head yet, as this needs a coat of paint as well. But this is something that I will do later on. First I'm going to focus on getting some color on that overall, for which I'm going to use a PS32 Corsa Grey. I think for the back section over here I'm going to use a PS48 semi-gloss silver anodized aluminium, and in the front I'm going to use some black, and perhaps for the seat a regular PS4 blue, but I'm not too sure yet. I will just see as I go along what will suit best, and if it will turn out a bit funny. Turned out that the interior was a lot simpler than I thought, or than I was afraid of. Gave the helmet a coat of primer first, and then some bright orange, which I still had laying around from my PRO2, my con project. Again, this is just a quick paint job. Some Course gray on the inside on the suit. Use those paint pens to put some extra details around the seat belt. All done from the inside. I chose to go for a glass surrounding on the seat, just to have a tiny bit of a difference going on over there, just to make it look more detailed. I had some axial wraith stickers laying around from the seats that I purchased for my PRO2 project. So I used those on the seat as well. PROLINE provided some stickers with the Pro-2 Buggy Conversion, so use those on the steering wheel. A few on the helmet, still needs to be pressed down a tiny bit more. The paint on the helmet still needs to dry, but for now this well, can be considered done. Gave everything a coat of flat clear on the outside, so this is all ready to be mounted. What I will be doing next is I will be staring in my lamp. I will be cutting out some lettering on the side, a few shapes, a few pinstripes. This bit over here, I think I want to give that a bit of a metal look. Make it look like it's stainless steel or aluminium, just to make the car look a tiny bit more technical. And other than that, I think, well, fairly simple. The main part of the body is going to be the metallic orange. I think I'm going to toss in some blue and some white just to give it, to make it pop a tiny bit more. But I will see as I cut what I want to use. Everything is cut, so right now it's time to put the first colors on. I peeled that first color, which is going to be that color that I've never actually worked with. Tamiya Metallic Orange. I will put a link to the, or a link, I won't put a link in the description box, I will just put the color number in the description box so you can see if you can find it. I did some test shooting on a scrap piece of Lexan. It's not really clear if there is a huge difference between backing it with black or white. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to back it with black on the top and with white in the bottom. I might even fade in a tiny bit of fluorescent orange in the bottom just to make it pop a tiny bit more. The pinstripe that you see going around here, or you may not see it because the camera is that far away, is going to be I think a light blue, which I'm also going to continue in the lettering, and then the largest piece over here in the bottom is going to be white. Let's shoot paint. I peeled the pinstripe and I also have those metal look-alike parts in. Backed everything with the black, as far as I wanted to back it with black. Put on a protective coat of white as well in some areas. And originally I planned on using a light blue pinstripe. Now that I look again, I think that will look a tiny bit tacky. It's turning out to be quite a funky looking body. So I want to do something else, and I've seen some Crown Royal themed cars in the past. I think at least that's the brand. They have like a metallic orange with a purple going on. So that's also something that I want to try. A good way of testing some results prior to painting. Just get your cans out. If you have peeled your stuff, just keep it over the can, and you can see sort of what the end result will look like. This metallic purple will look a tiny bit lighter than it actually looks on the top of the can, because I will be backing it with a white, and then I think I will use something like a blue metallic, maybe even that light blue on the lettering on the side here, right before I peel out the rest and fill those larger areas in with the white. That's the plan. Well, that concludes it for this week. How to paint up a PROLINE Pro-2 Buggy body. Really challenging, well, at least I felt. To me this was also a tiny bit new with that driver figure on the inside. Really fun to do. Love the shape of the body. I decided not to follow any of the lines that are molded in the body. You can of course, if you think that's easier to do, choose to use some of the molded in lines and chase those for your paint scheme. I think I got kind of like a classic looking buggy, what I ended up with, and I quite like the outcome. I really like the new Tamiya Orange. I'm really glad that I got an opportunity to use that this time around. And I hope that this was easy enough to follow along if you're also about to paint something up. If something isn't clear, which I can imagine, don't be shy, hit me up in the comments box. Also, if you perhaps have some suggestions on what you would like to see me paint in the next video, because there's a lot of paint work coming up. The weather here is terrible, so I will be mostly sitting inside painting up stuff. If you want to be a tiny bit ahead of what's going on over here, make sure to check out my Facebook page. And I think, well, also quite important, if you are on the PROLINE website and you want to order something, whether that's just a set of wheels, a body, complete Pro-2 kit, maybe even the Pro-2 Buggy or the monster truck kit that more recently got released, don't forget to use the discount code HemiStorm10 when you're checking out your order. PROLINE has been kind enough to supply me with that code to hand out to you guys, just to make things a tiny bit cheaper, which I think is really cool of them. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Make sure to share this video with your friends, and I hope to see you around. Thanks for watching. Bye.